Welcome to our second workshops with Shelley and Beth Ellen. And we're going to start off by, I don't have any announcements. Let's just start off by introducing ourselves. And we're going to start with our newest member, Allie.
Hello, my name is Allie. I am 19 years old and I am a studio art major at Montgomery College focusing in ceramics. So I'm hoping to learn more and do more pottery, and hopefully I'm selling this summer, so I'll let you know how that goes.
You're welcome.
I'll be selling
Nice.
When you say selling
at the DC Pen Show. So I'll be selling inkwells and ink rest, or pen rest, and I haven't made any pens yet, but it might be something I'll do in the future.
Never heard of it.
I never.
Somehow we need to get information about that sent to us via our president so that, yeah, we can go see your stuff.
She isn't going to be.
Just how she's selling her
So,
work that she's making.
where is it again?
The DC Pen Show.
Oh, the pen show. That's
Yeah, it's-
right.
it's-
Your mom was telling you.
Yeah, it's all about fountain pens and inks and stuff.
DCPenshow.com. Go figure.
Yeah, I can.
Allie, if you send me stuff, I'll put it in the newsletter.
Okay.
Next.
I'm Sherry Booth. I don't think I need to give my age. I can, but
You can if you want.
I don't have any exciting announcements, but I'm happy to be here today.
I'm Lisa Kovaleski. I'm 59. Happy to be here today.
I'm Rose Ray. I'm 75, and I'm happy to be here today.
Okay. Our president.
Janet Bolton, your prez, for 2 more months.
Susan Kimberly, and no age given.
Elizabeth Lane.
Beth Ellen Berry.
Amy Pfeiffer, and I'm 99 years old.
I'm Joanne Mars, and I'm 77. So I beat you.
You beat me by 2, well, by a year. I'll be 70.
And we have our presenter.
I'm Shelley Sarin, no age.
New age.
Okay.
All right. Who's our last person in? Mark Harper. Hi, Mark.
How old are you?
Get Mark.
Mark, do you want to introduce yourself?
We're all.
Mark Harper.
Okay.
Well done.
Well done. Yay.
Been a member forever, but his work is
All right, so today we're going to, some people thought I was going to show stamping, but actually we're going to make stamps. So I made a poster with nowhere to hang it, so maybe if you want it, you can take a picture of it. Okay, and basically these are just some of the things I'm going to talk about. These are considerations for clay stamp making. Okay, and I'll go through some of them. It's really kind of my own cheat sheet so that I'll know what I'm supposed to say to you. All right, so first of all, you want to start off with clay that's malleable but not soggy. This is kind of soggy, but it's here hopefully drying out a little bit. I do have some clay that, this camera following me around. It's like really. I'll learn to ignore it. But right.
You want to put it on the side here?
Yeah, just leave it for a bit. I'm not showing anything yet.
Not yet.
But you want clay that's a little bit stiff so that when you do work with it, it's not coming off in your hands or sticking, okay? And I've got a variety of tools here.
Does the clay body,
I'm just
are
using,
some better than others?
I would use something smooth with not too much grog in it. I'm using right now just low fire white clay. Okay, so that's what I make most of my stamps in, because you're only needing to biscuit. but the grog would tend to be harder to dig away. So I have some little samples here to show you the different kinds of things that I've done, and you know how easy it is to just make some fun stamps. All right, so I'm looking at my cheat sheet. The first thing I mentioned is that you want a V-shaped cut. You don't want to use a skewer with a pointy edge. You don't want to even use a really sharp pencil. I start with a pencil because it's got that nice V, because you want the clay to be able to release from the V, okay? So when you're making a stamp, you want, how do I want to say this? And that thing is really bothering me. Can you pull it back a little, Joanne?
I've got it.
Come over here and put,
I'm in their way, as you're saying.
and it's distracting.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so when you're drawing, that's better. So when you're drawing into your clay, first of all, there's a couple different ways you can do it. You can carve into the clay, or you can add on to the clay. And it just kind of depends on whether you want a positive or a negative picture, okay? If you carve in and then later on you decide you want it to go the other way, make a stamp from your stamp, right? That makes sense. If you carve in to something like this is why I brought this clay. Okay, so you're going to get a positive, okay? If you have something that's added on, you're going to get a negative. Okay, so that's kind of where you have to start. Then you want to think about whether you want a stamp, whether you want a rocker, and I actually have a few, all the way down, a few things that will roll. Okay, just to show you what a roller is, you can put a little skewer inside, and you can roll it across your clay. So depending on what you're decorating and how much room you have for it, you can make different kinds of stamps. And I'll show you how to make that too. I have a better one in here somewhere that has a little bit different. Okay. So, and these are just like little notches, you know, it's just that they repeat and go all the way across, and so they're kind of fun to do. You want to do something that's a little bit more figurative. You can do leaves. Super easy. Okay. So I don't profess to be really a pro at this, but because it's so easy, I feel like, you know, you guys can make your own. It's easy enough to teach you how. All right, so, and then this would be a rocker. And then that goes like that. And it's backwards. Okay. So, just to get started, so you want to think, I'm going to just start off with some stamps. And I've got some kind of leather hard clay here, a little bit softer than leather hard. And you can make your stamp as a single stamp. You can make it as a two-ended stamp, where you can do like, you know, something that relates to something else, or two completely different things. You can decide whether you want your edge to be defined or whether you want it to fade away. And that's kind of an important thing, because once you do press it in, if the edge shows, you want it to be a nice edge, okay? Or, get that. If you, let's see, if you wanted to repeat, then you want to be able also if you want to fill an area. You don't want the edge to block your repetition. Okay, and then I'll show you how to do that. You can also do, and I'm not seeing it, but I'll find it when you're not. There's ways to do a bordered one, and I can show you.
See the details, but you'll
Well, move
show-
up closer.
Can you see it? Can you leave some of the stamped pieces?
Or pass it around.
Or you can come and experiment at the
Okay.
time, okay? Yeah, not, they're gonna all be here. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry you're not seeing it. I'll make sure that you do. All right, so let's just carve an image. Somebody tell me what you want to see in here.
You could do your initials, right?
You could do your initials. Now remember, you're going to get a mirror image. So if you don't
Good
do
point.
them backwards, you end up with them backwards. Okay, so this versus, and I just had it here.
You can also do a stamp and then make another thing out of it.
Yes, you-
And do that a couple, 4 or 5 times, you get a really full stamp.
Absolutely. All right, so you can carve like
Oh,
this.
wait, stop. Explain that?
Yeah.
So you make one and then you stamp it and then you let that dry and you make another one from that.
And it's small.
And they keep getting smaller because the
Because
clay
they
will shrink
shrink
every time.
until
and
it
you
gets
end up
small
with a
enough to-
tiny initial if you want.
Oh, that's good,
so-
because then you would have the detail.
Yeah,
Right.
you keep the detail. Yeah.
And then the other thing, you also have to think of where you're putting it on your pot. So if you're a wheel thrower, then the pot's got to be soft enough that you can stamp it. And if it's a name thing and you want to stamp it on the bottom, you don't want to come up through it. I tried making a stamp. I'm not thrilled with it unless you're going to do it on the side. It's just, for me, it's not.
Well, I've
It's
also made a
not
little
feasible.
blob of clay to put on the bottom of the pot, even when it's like leather hard, and then you just stamp into the little blob.
You can make a sprig.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit iffy
That's
that
actually
way,
really
but.
good.
Yeah, that's a
Hands
really,
end up
yeah.
pressing it too
Right, you
hard.
don't wanna do that.
Yeah, if you have a foot,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you can put it
pre-make 'em
underneath
even
it.
and
Yeah.
Score 'em and attack 'em.
that's a great
I
idea.
like that idea.
Camp is over, I learned all I need.
All right, so a bunny, I'm not a great bunny drawer, but, so, we'll try a bunny. All right. So notice that I'm using a kind of rounded pencil. You can choose to use one that's a little pointier. You can use one of those loop tools, but I find that for doing small things, that's a little bit harder because I only have one that's really, really tiny. So I decided I would show you with a pencil because that's something everybody has. All right, so I'm
When
just,
would you use the curved stamp? Is that if you had a surface where it wasn't flat and so?
you mean this one?
Yeah,
Yeah, like that, I call that a rocker.
Or a rocker, yeah.
I have another one in here and I'll show you that, but you kind of have to rock your stamp anyway
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And-
too.
because, and that just helps you have that faded edge a little bit more.
Right, okay.
So when you're putting in a stamp, you're gonna rock it a little bit. But see, when you start to do that, it sinks in. So something like this would allow you, and this isn't a good one, but would allow you to not have that edge. You're still gonna get this edge, but depending on what.
So did you ever make your little ones into just kind of mini rockers?
Yeah, I fold the edges down. I'll show you what I do for that. When I want it to fade, yes, then I do that. All right, so I'm doing a little bunny. It's not great. It's pretty pitiful.
You could do a bunny sculpture better, right?
I could.
I know.
All right, so a one-eared bunny. Where should the other ear go? Yeah, there it goes. Okay. All right, so I've drawn in a little bunny. It's got a lot of scrugs on it because this is just my first go at it. And now I'm gonna let it sit for a while and get those scrugs off in a little
Can
while.
I see it again?
Okay.
Oops.
I've
Whoa.
heard that word scrub.
You know when you know what I mean by scrub?
Little, we know
The little-
the little pieces.
Yeah.
Scrub is a word.
I don't know. I've been using it for so long, I don't know if it's a real word or not. I used to call them dingleberries, but I got teased out of my class for that, so I can't call it that anymore. Yep, they're like boogers, yeah. All right, so now it's firming up a little bit, and I'm going back through, and I'm making my lines a little bit deeper, and getting rid of some of the boogers.
So that's sort of the key to getting rid of those, is you do
Let
it
it
once,
dry a
let it
little
dry
bit.
a little, and then go over the same thing. I think
That's my key.
Okay,
You
that's
know,
helpful.
I'm sure there are other ways to do it. Okay, and they're getting a little deeper.
Ah. So it has to be pretty deep.
You want them deep enough and wide enough. You want it wide, because remember, this is going to shrink. That's really important. So you don't want to draw it with a little teeny skewer, or some people, oh my gosh, they write their name on the bottom of the pot with a pin tool, a needle tool. And then it shrinks, and you're like, blinded. You can hardly see it. So you want this deep enough and wide enough that when you press it into the clay, after it's bisque, because it's going to shrink, when you press it into the clay, that it will release. That's why you want the V, okay? And that it doesn't grab the clay. If it's straight down, it will grab pieces of the clay. If it's too deep, it will grab pieces of the clay. And if it's not deep enough, you won't get your image. So you're going to have to practice a little bit. Look at some of the ones that I have and see how deep they are. These are ones that work. Okay, and then, yes.
So do you use stamps on a lot of your stuff that you sell, or is this or just a once in a while thing? Because I know that there are websites where people everything they have is stamped to the max.
I use stamps on rims sometimes. I always do one on a mug handle, at the bottom of a mug handle. I use a lot of these for teaching when I teach my students. That's where most of these were made, and most of these come from.
What kind of students, what teaching?
Just hand building with kids. So, kids and parents, but
Where?
at Create Arts.
Is that Silver
In
Spring?
Silver Spring, yeah. And so, for that I use a lot. But in my own work and for sales, I use them on little pieces and for borders and mugs, pretty much. And then sometimes just to make something look like it's mine.
You're saying around the rims of mugs? Is that?
No, like where the handle attaches.
Where the handle attaches,
Oh,
at the
just-
bottom.
Just the handle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rims of either a bowl or a platter or something.
So just to
Sometimes.
make like a design? of
Yeah,
it?
to get, if I have something that I want some texture, I'll do it around that. All right, so now my little bunny, most of the scrugs are gone. I think he needs an eyeball. Okay, so nice little eye. And I think he
Do that
needs a
again,
little
we got too
nose.
close. All right.
Okay, and make some little feathers for the tail. This is a pretty poor bunny.
They don't usually have feathers.
Well, some fur for the tail.
I'll do a still.
A bird bunny.
Oh, wow.
All right, I'm not sure, it looks really bad looking. But if you want to test it, okay, while you're making it, if you want to test it, find something like this that has some powdery stuff on it. Don't press too hard because you'll press the image out, but you can kind of rock it around. Oh, this is not
So
going to
you're
work.
just seeing the image in the powder? is what you're
Yeah.
saying?
So you'll
Is
see
that
where
talcum
it,
powder?
you'll see where it releases. But then I've got to go back because I just pressed it too hard.
Is that cornstarch or talc or?
No, this is just leftover clay. clay dust.
Oh, clay dust, okay.
I have some talcum powder. if you want.
Oh, and that might actually, that may be a way to test it. So anyway, but then what I want to show you is that I want this to be a no bordered one. So I'm going to pull the edges down out of the way so that when I do stamp it, and I don't know if that's going to work, but sure, let's try that.
It kind of worked.
You can see it on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've kind of pressed some of the stuff out of it. But what I'm showing you now is that I'm pulling the edges out of the way so that when I do press it in, all I'm getting is the image and I'm not getting a border. With this one, you're going to get a border because it's flat. Okay? So that's one kind of image. Another kind you can do by adding on clay. I think I had the heart here. Here's a swirl where the clay is added on.
Ah.
Okay, and this will give you a negative image, right? This one's kind of a combination. I love this stamp, and it's so easy to make. I'll just show you real quickly. Take an edge of a chopstick, and then you do it like bricks, and you can alternate them. Oh, I messed up.
That's my favorite thing, is finding just household items and using them as tools.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of times kids' toys.
Yes, I brought, I have some of those here too.
I have a little this teapot that I use, you know, pots, yeah.
I have a wheel,
Okay.
truck wheel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, those are great. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't even have to make the stamp from it. But that's just this.
That's nice.
And I'll show you, I just had it. Oh, here, this is what it looks like. This is a square one, but this is what it looks like, and so.
Love it.
Really simple, really easy. Same thing for the other side of this. I just took a skewer and just laid it in there. Can make a sun.
Mushroom, the inside of a mushroom.
Oh, the inside of a mushroom. Okay. I can take and press a swirl into that. That's not showing up well, but you get the idea.
Wow.
Wow.
It's easier when you're not feeling rushed.
So you just used a stamp to make a stamp?
I used the stamp to finish that off. Okay, so that's another kind you can do. But I was going to show you how to do an add-on.
He's singing for you.
Oh, is that what he's doing? Such a cute voice. So for the add-on, you do want some soft clay. And I'll just show you a swirl, because that's kind of easy to do. Okay. There's the scrubs.
He adds to it.
Okay, and then still got to score and slip a little bit, so I will draw it on here. There's no door.
Oh, there isn't?
There's a gate,
I'm surprised
but he's fine.
It's the son of the service person. Yeah.
then it's the answer.
All right, so I've drawn it on. Get a little water. Make a little slip out of that. I'm gonna put it in my soda. I wonder if that'll work, like vinegar. If it was champagne, it might work.
Next time,
Okay.
we might get more people.
Yeah, we should. It's always like a wine and workshop.
That's right.
Mud and Berlot.
I've had enough of the whining.
Okay, now what I didn't do, and let me let you learn from my mistake. I should have started in the center with the swirl and gone out. Instead, I started at the outer and went in, and now I'm short. I was short before, but now I'm even shorter. So now I have to add on. It's not the end of the world, but it will be a little bit different. And I'll make sure that that blend is on the swirl. And hopefully this will stay on.
Close up of that guy.
That bad boy. Okay, and then this can be a double-ended one where this is the negative and then I could do a positive on the opposite side.
Oh,
When you make them like this, though, keep also in mind that this is getting a little heavy, okay? So when you dry it, you either want to dry it for a long time so it doesn't trap air and explode, or make a couple of holes in it, okay? To let that air have a place to go so that it can dry out. Does that make sense to everybody? Because even this handle, I would do something like that. And then put your name along the handle so if somebody borrows it, they know who to give it back to. All right, so let's see if I can get an image on that. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I was hoping the other one would show, but now I've pressed it down too. So when you're doing the add-ons, you do want to make sure that you have either a nice flat edge or even a pointy edge, that it comes up to a point so that when you press it into your clay, it's not rounded like, it'll just give a sharper image, and hence the store. So I'm going back where I flattened it out, because I was a little ambitious, and I'm doing that. So I'm digging that out a little bit.
Wow.
Okay. I try to, when I'm doing these, to give like a 90-degree angle between the image and the stamp itself, so that again, when you press it in, it's that nice sharp image, okay? Letters have to be in reverse, and that's kind of all that. All right.
Do word, like the whole thing has to be in reverse?
Yep, totally backwards. Wait, I have one here. I'll show you. Here it is. Okay, so that's my name, which is different from this one, which is my name.
Right, and that one doesn't work.
This one, well, it worked if you want my name backwards. I don't think it works, but yeah. So here, press it in.
Oh, yeah.
And see, and that gives it the whole thing.
Right, nice.
So what she did was that.
yeah.
Got that? Okay. All right, one more quick lesson would be to make a roller. You want to make a roller? Get yourself a nice firm piece. And I call this the Fred Flintstone car because it reminds me of the wheel on his car. Getting the scrugs out of the way. Okay. And I put my my skewer through it. And I do one side at a time so that it will definitely find its way in the middle. Oops, I think I'm off center. Yep, I'm off center.
That sounds like another one of those things you learned by doing it the other way.
Because these skewers bend, and once they hit a little bit of resistance, they start to go off to the side.
Yeah.
Yep, there, see, bad.
Yep, yep.
Getting there. All right, now I got it. All right, and then I roll it to get my sides nice and flat, and to give myself some roller room in the middle. And then if I put a thicker one in there, I can carve against it. So just to, this one I did on purpose where the edges were flattened. I just thought that would be fun to try and do. You can see some of these just have different kinds of decorations in them. This one I stamped with, you can pass that around even, with different ones. This is a finger roller, kind of goes like that. That's another fun one to make. This one makes things look like they have pimples. It's kind of fun. Oh, here, what's this one?
It's fun.
That's great.
Okay. So, I'll do something a little bit more graphic, but not a bunny. I'll do leaves, because we all like leaves. All right, so, again, I'm gonna draw in some leaves. And this will take a couple go rounds. I'm just kind of getting where I'm gonna put the leaves first.
I really like the way that you can freehand that, but yet then when you use it on something, the repetition makes it look so good.
Thank you. I'm not sure what you were saying, that this
you're
looks
freehanding.
pretty.
You're not doing it, you're not measuring and making it exact,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay, yeah.
You're doing it, but then once you
Freehand,
roll it
right.
onto a surface.
It looks like it was
looks-
planned.
Right, it looks
I
like. it was
gotcha,
planned.
yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
And now I understand, and thank you. And for the leaves, you know, make some big, make some smaller. I mean, that's more the aesthetics of it, but, you know, I'm gonna have this blank side that I'm going to have to fill in, so. What's your name again? What's your name again?
Sherry.
Like Sherry was saying, you want it to look planned. So I did one half of it, and now I'm figuring out where the other leaves are going to kind of fit in there. So it looks like, oh yeah, I knew exactly what I was doing.
What kind of leaves are you putting on?
Little ones. Just like, yeah, just
Oh, yeah.
On a
birch.
vine.
Birch.
So you're doing a vine?
I don't know.
She's just doing it.
Yeah, I'm just doing this. This is probably not one I'm going to keep, but I just wanted to give you the idea of how to do it. So I've got someone connected things and some kind of suggested. All right, so now it's got the little scrugs on there, so, and it's not all filled in either, but now I would let it sit for a little while and then go back and start carving a little bit deeper and clean up those scrugs. But if you want to see
The scrubs.
whether it's gonna, I can kind of see where that is. I don't think that the thing's gonna pick that up. But I'll keep working on that, okay? And then when you use it, you can roll it. I like these kind much better, because it's only a certain kind of piece that this will really work on. Flat trays are nice.
But sometimes you get off track, you know, that you're rolling.
Yeah, you can go crazy. All right, so would you like to make some?
I just want to ask that one that's on there, right?
Okay.
In front, this done.
I'm gonna
How did you
stop
do
the
that?
Oh,
thing.
okay, so this was,